My name is Cheri. Welcome to my stamp studio. I have a fun card for you today. It is one more kind of in my series of how to copy a card and carrying on from my snowfront cards. So you may have seen the video that I did for this one. It was kind of popular. Everybody likes anything with the buffalo check. And then this one following has been really popular as well. So today's card I've kind of based off of this one, and this was a snowfront card. It will be some of the Christmas cards that I have going out. It's super easy, super pretty. So the snowfront stamp set is in the current holiday catalog. So if you want to get it, you can snag it right now. It's available right now. And then in the annual catalog, there is the summer set that's called Waterfront. I should have pulled some cards out that I have made with it. And now in the upcoming January mini catalog that's going to start on January 3rd, there is a new set that's called, I think they should have called it Meadow Front because that's what I want to call it, but it's called My Meadow. And you can see it's the same kind of set where you build the scenes. And in fact, you can mix and match all of these pieces because they're the same size, same look of stamps. But this one then is going to be able to build some spring scenes for us. And today when it's it feels like it's 1,000,000 degrees below zero, you can see my ring is not fitting up, it's fitting down. It's a ring I got when I turned 21. So on these days I feel like it's still, your fingers shrink when it's this cold. But this is gonna give us some spring and on into summer. So there's pieces that you can use for water and flowers. So the card I'm going to do today is, I'm calling it Indiana Spring, anywhere in the Midwest. It's an ode to our Midwest springs, and you'll see what I mean. And I'm actually going to use another set that's in the upcoming catalog, and it's called Perfectly Framed. And these you can get in the holiday catalog that's out right now. These are the little Halloween ornate frames, and I used those several times. Yeah, I did use them on a vampire card. But I used them several times not, because they're really pretty. And then this Perfectly Framed set is going to be in the upcoming catalog. And you can see the labels are all designed to go with the set. So this is going to carry over, but you can get it now if you want to get a head start. So let's do this card. It's super fast. And I did want to show you kind of how when I designed one of these, I knew that I wanted it to go kind of with the same look. So I start out with a panel, and this was large. I start out and I just draw it on some grid paper. And then I can see that's too big, and then that kind of helps me decide how much I can shrink it down, because I didn't want it to be the whole card, because I'm going to use the birch background again, which is what I used on the one snowfront card, because I'm going to kind of copy that. These would be fun to give as a gift, make a gift set. One of them isn't uniquely a fall set, but the snowfront or any of them really, if you switch over the colors to fall. But you could make some real fun cards and give a year's worth of different cards to somebody, and that'd be a super fun gift. So here is the birch. So this is going to look a lot like the snowfront card that I just showed you, and I'll show you afterwards. Obviously, I'm not going to put any snow on it, which the ice glitter is one of my favorite things, and it has sold out. So if you didn't get it, I'm sad, because that's really pretty. So this is gray granite, my favorite neutral color, and my favorite two colors working on this card, and gray granite cardstock. And this card's going to go the other direction, because that was, after I did this, I realized I could squish it and I could get it to go this way, which meant we'd be able to see more of the background. And then I could be able to get a label on here, because the other one doesn't have a label. So I keep this in the case. I never mount it on anything. It's just easy to use. You can take it to the sink and just rinse it off if it's not mounted on anything. I don't even have my sticker on it, and it doesn't have to be perfect. So there we go. It'll dry a little lighter. I don't need to clean this. We are going to do this at January camp if you're in Indy and you'd like to come. So then let's stamp our words. And we can cut those out. And those are in granite. I shouldn't have closed them. This is a really nice sentiment that comes within this set. This one says, together we can get through anything, which is a nice I like the combination of the granite and the Highland Heather together. It's very springy and it's definitely a color, but it's not an overwhelming. I'm not going to seal that because I do need it again. So I've already sealed it once. So let's pull our die cutting machine over here. And big news, if you haven't seen it, we have plates available again. So, you know, my plates were getting kind of nasty, and you may have seen that sometimes when I was rolling things through, it would say top. And that was because at my classes and camps, I was having them always use the same pieces on top until they got pretty cut up, and then we'd flip those to the bottom. Because I was down to the ends of these. And now I can use new ones because we can order them. So I will put that number if you want to order some new ones for yourself. So this one has the little shape that does this. And if you wanted, you could emboss this in white and not even leave this, but I like the little scrolls. These are my favorite. And that's Highland Heather. And while you can't no longer get that, it's gonna crack. Oh, maybe not. The new dies don't crack as bad as the old ones did. The ones that were made by another company cracked more. I don't know what I was saying. So, trash. Let's see if this cut out okay. I should have put it a little bit more in the center, but the nice thing about this, it's not cut out good enough. I should have moved it into the center, but I was talking. Is that these are that are ornate like this, you can line right back up here because you can see where they're going. I'm going to pop this in upside down, which I would have turned it upside down if I'd not been talking and paying attention. I had refrained from starting to turn my dies upside down because my plates were starting to get more cut up. And every time you run something through, you run more cuts into your plate. So I was trying to conserve plates. But once you do this, just watch it in the camera. Well, it's moving all over the place. I mean, for one, it cuts your other plate. That's part of the reason I had stopped. But now it's cut all the way out. And you just fling these through. So I'll get that in a second. I don't have any, I had my big downline event. We had so much fun. It's one of my favorite things I do. But most of my stuff, if you can see here on my table, we did 11 projects and they're all still in their buckets. So all of my pointy things, like I have one that's all like accessories and all the snails and all the pointy tools. And I did pull this one thing of snips out. So there, that's good. So now we just have to stamp this. And so here's what you do is you want to start, if you've already kind of mocked it up. I didn't like the color combination, so I swapped. This was granite and this was suede. I liked my little gazebo better darker. So let's do that in the suede. But you want to do your biggest things first because it's easier to fit smaller things in than it is to try to jam some giant things around. And you can see that was way too big, so this was easy to fit. So there's our gazebo. And then we have, it comes with some, like a little grove of trees. So we'll do those first. I think it's got like 6 trees, maybe 7 trees. So we'll put these here. And then it's got some big trees. So one there. Let's do another one just down a little bit for some depth. And then it has one single tree that's kind of medium. Because I did so many projects and I needed all of my blocks. This is on a paper pumpkin block, which they work, but they're not my favorite. They're a little bit harder to hold on to because there's no side grips. Okay, so now we have our trees. So you can see now that you've got the larger things, it's easier to work your smaller things in. So let's do, like I said, this is an ode to Midwest Springs or Indiana Spring. So in the spring, before any of our big trees have anything, like they'll stay empty until like late April. But we do get the magnificent flowering trees. And it's really I love fall. And part of the reason I love fall is because the leaves, everything's got leaves on it and it lasts forever. I love spring, but you really have to learn to appreciate it because it looks beautiful like this for like a week and then it's gone. So that is Melon Mambo. For some little pink trees over there, like some of our crab apples. Let's get some of our flowering purple trees over here. There's nothing more glorious than driving down on one of those days when it's starting to warm up and the whole street can just be filled with purple flowers on the trees. So I went for the depth of the leaves or the flowers. I'm just stamping till the stamp's clean. So that way some of them are dark and some of them are lighter. And you can also then kind of give it like a round feeling to it. So there's our purple trees. And then, like I said, the big trees, they got not a thing. Nothing on those suckers right now. So that makes it easy to not have to stamp those. Then we just have a little bit of green to our grass. It's not summer green. So I have some soft seafoam just to give us a little bit of color, but not too much. And then we've got some daffodils, which, those spring up everywhere. Even when I lived in Australia, the daffodils, often the first sign of spring everywhere. And I would love to have a yard where daffodils just sprung up everywhere. My husband would not, so they don't. But, we have friends who have more wooded lawns and their daffodils just spring up. So it's got the leaves, and I did those in Granny Apple Green. And then I've got Pineapple Punch, which will be on its way out. Once we hit January, you'll just have a few months left to get anything that's of the 2020 retiring colors. And so it's got 3 daffodils. So I kind of did the same thing that I did with trees, except it's such a light color that if you stamp off, they kind of just disappear. But like if my stems were close together, or this one here where they kind of went off, sometimes I did 1 because there's a bunch of 3, and sometimes I did 2. And you can see this is just, you can stamp over everything. It doesn't matter because it just kind of all makes a little nature scene. Then we have some clouds. And this is Balmy Blue, because nothing says clouds like balmy. Just add a couple of clouds. And this is shimmery white cardstock. I'm not sure that I said that. And then some Blueberry Bushel, which is the 2020 Pantone color of the year. But for Stampin' Up, it's a 2020 retiring color. So if you want to be trendy all of 2020, make sure that you get the Blueberry Bushel before it's gone. And so we have some little birds, and we'll just put them up here because they're coming back from flying south for the winter. So that's all the stamping. It also has, like, this set has a little bridge. It has where you can make big things of grass, or you can make water where you can put the little bridge over the water. It's going to be super fun. Imagine the little wedding cards that you can make with that gazebo. And that just comes together so super fast. And let's take our paper here. And this is why I wanted it to go this way, so I'd have room for my label. Because if it was any bigger, then you cover up the whole background and there was no point in undoing the birch. If you were going to put that little label on. So just stick this on. just cut it so it would cover the whole thing. And then if it sticks off, you can just take your scissors, or you can take the new little mini guillotine, which you can get right now if you're a demonstrator, or you can get for free in January if you sign up to be a demonstrator. It won't be for sale, it's just a demonstrator perk. But then when you because you know, when you fold these, sometimes they're not folded perfectly in half. Sometimes when I cut, especially for glasses, they're not all exactly 4. Well, 4 1/4. So I'm going to mount this on here. Just like this, and then take 2 dimensionals. One here, one here. And there you go, super simple, nice and springy. Let's compare it over here to our winter one. So this one I didn't want it on white. This I liked it on the vanilla because it gives it, you know, the winter feel. This one, I thought about putting it all on the purple, but again, if you live in the Midwest in the spring, it's pretty, but it's not, it still can have those days. Not bleak, gray granite's not a bleak color, but this I thought kind of there's the hope of summer coming, and that's kind of what I was going for. So if I do a summer card with it, then I might mount it on one of the brighter colors and give my big tree some leaves. So stay tuned, because that might be coming, and maybe then it might even go on the buffalo plaid. But so it's kind of just a little twist up of that. I left off the star and the ice glitter because, you know, even though winter can be cold, it has its high points, and Christmas and the sparkle of the ice is that. So it's a fun set to play with the nature, and I hope you enjoy it. I hope you get it. So I will put the order details, and you can order on January 3rd. I will have some kickoff specials on January 3rd, and if you follow me on Facebook and maybe on YouTube, I'm going to start trying to do some YouTube lives, but it's a whole new learning curve, and I've got the holidays in between now and there, but it is the goal for the new year for me to start doing YouTube lives. But I will definitely have some stuff over on Facebook that you can see. So that's what I have for you today. Have a great one. Bye.